executive producer here, Laura Risser. Would you please come up? And we'll bring up some more people and then we can get to a Q&A. We were so privileged with our cast, as I'm sure a lot of you could tell. We had some amazing actors in this film. And a lot of them are here tonight, and we'd love to bring them up. Not only was he an actor, but an executive producer who really helped put this movie together, Bradley Cooper. The amazing and talented Miss Zoe Saldana. The incomparable Dennis Quaid. The irresistible Ben Barnes. And the wonderful Mr. James Baxter. Well, I mean, seriously, how about that lineup right there? So I guess we can just, you guys have a microphone or something there? You can, I guess, fire questions, just raise your hand and we can ask the cast, the producers, Lee and I, if you have any questions. Does anyone have a question out there? Over on the left, over there.
So I couldn't help but think about Robert Morley and William Shakespeare and wondering what similarities, the roles in the depiction of this story, how it evolved, whether or not there was any inspiration from that historical fact.
There was some inspiration from some historical facts that Lee and I were discussing, a story about Ernest Hemingway, and his wife came to visit him. He was interviewing with Mussolini at the time, and when she came to visit him, she brought his stories in the carbons, and she had left them on the train. And we started talking about that, and the questions just kind of grew out of that.
There's a lot of folklore about writers who have lost their work. I think there are probably quite a few writers out here who probably lost their work too. So we sort of tapped into that and took the right thing.
Wow. Someone over there? Hi.
Hi. Brian and Lee, I'm curious, it sounds like it's been quite a journey, at least 12 years.
Just 12 years.
I would love to hear a little bit about that journey and any advice you would have for filmmakers just from your experience.
I mean, I think the greatest lesson of that if you ask for advice from this experience is, I mean, 12 years.
Yeah.
You know, there's no better. I mean, you hang in there and, you know, it comes together. And, you know, it comes together when it's right timing and with the right people. And I don't know that we were ready to necessarily make the film that we made here 12 years ago. And, you know, so it happened when it was right and to just endure.
I would say that no matter what happens, make sure to enjoy the experience of trying to do it, because no matter how long it takes, no matter how hard it is, it's your experience, it's nobody else's. So just try to enjoy it, every part of it, good and bad.
Congratulations on an incredible film.
Oh, thank you so much. Is there anyone else? Oh, over there? Oh. You want to go on the balcony first and then we'll come to you?
Thank you. I just wonder why New Yorkers have such a fascination with Paris.
I can't answer that question, but I certainly do.
It's such a beautiful city. I mean, and it's such a historic city. back even into the 19th century, it's just so full of romance, and I think Americans really grab onto that romance and love it, maybe because we don't have as much of it here.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I just wanted to, combinations of directors and writers where both people share both jobs are unusual. How do you guys work?
Lee does everything.
No, every day it's different. I mean, honestly, it's like when people ask us, say, you know, if you've ever been in a band, it's kind of like we've been doing that since we were 11. And every day we get together with band practice. And however it happens, it happens. There's a mystery and a magic to it. I almost don't like to talk about it because I feel so lucky to have it with him.
It's also it's constantly evolving. I mean, we used to just sit in a room together, and now like sometimes we, hey, you want to get on Skype and just work from our houses? You know, we used to go to an office. You know, so it's always changing, always evolving. You got something over here?
So when you write about a writer, or when you write about a writer who writes about a writer, it's natural to wonder, as the movie explores, is the writer writing about himself? So, were you guys writing about yourselves?
I think anytime you take pen and paper, we only have our subjective experiences of our own lives to draw from, so I think every character is drawn in some parts of you. I mean, that is definitely one of the big themes going on here, I think, and what is Clay trying to say? What is his relation to this story?
What do you think?
They're going to admit tonight that they found a leather valise.
We will not admit to that, no. Yes, Olivia?
I just saw a couple of my favorites kind of made me feel like I saw a little bit of like Cinema Paradiso and Red Violin. I know you guys may not have touched that at all, but my question is, were there any particular movies that kind of influenced your making of this?
All of them.
My Inception.
Back there? You want to take that piece? She had asked about the actors, the casting process over a long period of time, and how Bradley got involved as an executive producer.
I think just because I've been a part of the project almost at its inception, not based on the movie, and so I think it was just sort of a nice thing that they were a gesture on their part, just because I was so invested in it and wanting it to be realized and shown tonight. It basically just allows me to call them up without apologizing first.
Yeah, I usually like an apology right off the top of the conversation. If we can start off all the questions with "I'm sorry." If there are any questions.
And the second part. Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Your second part was about the casting. Sorry.
I mean, all I can say. Thank you. Good point. All I can say about the casting process was, we had very limited resources, very limited time to make this movie, and had we had unlimited resources and unlimited time, we would have cast every single person that we cast in this movie. We got the actors that we wanted to play these roles, and we went after them, and we could not believe when they started saying yes. And consistently saying yes. I mean, there's just so many wonderful performances and actors we got to work with here, so we really wound up with a dream cast. Front on the left.
First off, congratulations to all you guys. That was an unbelievable movie. But my question question is essentially the narration of a narration by a narrator. When the voiceovers of Jeremy Irons and Dennis Quaid and everyone's voice, and once again in casting that, did you have them in Pacific, or how did they go about in that narration process?
The voiceover and the narration is something that has constantly evolved. The nice thing about voiceover is you don't always have to shoot it, and as the film comes together, you can layer that in and kind of have it fit the narrative as it works. And, you know, Jeremy's got such a great voice, doesn't he? I mean, it's unbelievable.
We didn't plan on doing a story within a story. We really started to write the story, and we let the story kind of tell us. I know that might sound cheesy, but we let the story tell us how to write it. We knew the story. So we weren't sitting there and saying, how do we write this voiceover? How do we separate them? We just wanted to tell a certain story, and then from there we made a decision.
Yeah, over here. Absolutely, and in fact, not only will I tell you about it, she wanted to know about the producers involved in the production process, and luckily we have a couple experts here, our producers.
So we actually got the script through a friend of ours, a mutual friend of ours, Jim, myself, and Brian and me. And so I read it, I guess first, a few years ago, and I thought it was the most incredible thing that I've ever read, frankly. And then Jim and I kind of jumped on board, and then we then brought it to Laura Brisker, Cass and always, who then also were working with Michael Van Lamb. So that's kind of the process. But we were involved by, I mean, it's been sort of our involvement about a few years. So we actually got it.
And the actual physical production, we shot this movie in Montreal, and we have an incredible crew there. And we shot the movie. A lot of them are here tonight, and we shot the movie. Yeah, I wish you applaud them. And believe it or not, we shot this movie in 25 days. We had a very, very, very tight schedule. So I'm being told we have time for one more question. So I feel like that I kind of don't want to be the person to pick who asks that question. The passionate woman in the balcony.
Hi, congratulations. I love the movie. I just have one question. I think it was amazing. How did you deal with the audition? I think it was really, really hard. So I want to know how was that?
I have a question for you. Can you repeat that question?
The movie's amazing. I loved it. I just have one question. How hard was it? I mean, to put all those stuff
Well, fortunately, we didn't have much time to edit either, so there wasn't a lot of time to argue. But yeah, it was a very, very, very engaging process, and you know, when you're balancing 3 stories together, 3 or 4 different stories together, finding the balance between all those stories, especially when they're almost different genres, it was a tricky task, and we had an amazing editor, Leslie Jones, who couldn't be here tonight.
Andy Jorgensen is here, finishing editor. Yeah, our editing team was incredible, and we learned so much about it. Well, I think that's it for our questions, and I just wanted to say thank you all again for being here. Thank you all for being part of it.